So Colin Firth was originally Paddington, and director Paul King wanted Firth because, quote, "What we liked about Colin is that he's got a bearish voice, he's got a sense of humor, and he presents the very best of British." Which is like, you think of Colin Firth, and you're like, that puts it all together, right? Yeah. But Firth started doing the role, and he was kind of struggling to find the voice, the kind of how to do it, and
he was just too sexy. They were like, God, Paddington sounds way too sexy. Yeah. He's like total DILF. We can't have this. This is like nonsense.
No, BILF, bear.
Yeah, he's a DILF BILF.
He's a DILF BILF.
Women 30 plus were like, whew. And the test screening's like, Paddington, ooh.
I've never been attracted to a bear before, but
let alone a
I'm
digital
willing
one.
to give it a try.
Yeah.
Paul King, the director, agreed with that. He was it wasn't really working.
Too sexy.
And he said, "It slowly just became clear that Paddington does not have the voice of a very handsome older man who has the most beautiful voice on the planet."
Yeah, too sexy.
Yeah.
He's like, "Ooh, shit, we gotta dial down the sex factor."
Making stuff is hard, especially in the entertainment world when there are millions of dollars on the line. And we are going to talk about these disastrous, never-ending, and sometimes dangerous productions. This is The Shit Show.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian, and I'm joined by Clint.
Hello.
And Ray.
Hola.
And this is The Shit Show. So my next video will be about the Back to the Future trilogy, and a big part of that story was Eric Stoltz being replaced by Michael J. Fox a few weeks into production.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now, this isn't that rare. It happens a lot more than you would think. So some pretty big names. So let's talk about other actors who were fired or replaced during the middle of a movie's production.
Nice.
So this isn't like movie's done, they're dubbed over. They're fully like, wah, you're out, new guy or person or gal in.
Yeah, and we've already kind of dove into this? Dovid? I don't know.
Duved.
When we were talking about The Good Dinosaur.
Yes.
Because they were replaced.
Correct.
Except for Frances McDormand.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've just seen the tip of the iceberg for this topic.
Now we're going to go full in.
Yeah.
Let's and then back out.
And then back in again.
Okay, first off, we're going to sidestep actors who died during movie, which would be its own topic for another day and probably a pretty sad one. And second, we are going to avoid most TV shows that replaced an actor because this happens all the time.
All the time.
Sometimes it's as simple as one actor got busy, another took their place for the next season. Everybody's favorite shows has done this. Game of Thrones, like The Mountain, is played by 3 different people.
Oh, yeah. The Mountain.
Yeah, tons of people in Game of Thrones. Doctor Who doesn't count. Sorry.
Right. Because
that's just
that's
different
the
character.
Whole point of the Doctor,
Yeah.
right?
It's part of the storyline.
Yeah. Lastly, the key word on this topic, mostly, is the middle of production. So actors who actually filmed in character before they were replaced.
Gotcha.
Paddington! Paddington! Up here!
Is that you, God?
What?
It's just, you sound a lot more like Mr. Brown than I imagined.
It is Mr. Brown!
Mr. Brown, what are you doing out there?
Okay, first up, Anne Hathaway in Knocked Up. Originally cast as Allison, the lead
Katherine
girl
Heigl's character.
who gets pregnant, and replaced by Katherine Heigl. So she was all in it, or all for it to be in it. But once she found out they were going to show real footage of a baby crowning, she dropped out.
Oh, okay.
But like it wasn't her having the baby.
And it was, and they told her it wasn't going to be her, and she was not happy about it.
Interesting.
But like, why though? That's a normal like birth.
I know, it's weird.
That is very weird.
I mean, sure, you could probably have some morality against that. Like, well, it's a beautiful thing. You're making fun of it. I don't know. But
everything about that, you've read this whole script,
true.
and you're okay with it.
Yeah, it's a
You're an
pretty
actress
raunchy
who's
movie.
posed nude multiple times.
True.
But
whatever.
childbirth is disgusting. Fuck you.
I mean, I never saw Knocked Up, but I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I just do not care for Katherine Heigl, at all.
Well, and didn't Katherine Heigl hate being in that movie?
Yeah, she kind of reneged it a few years later and was all like, I was just this dumb character. And blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I would have liked to if Anne Hathaway was in, I was like, okay, I'll go see it.
I mean, Anna Hathaway gets a lot of online shit, but I actually really like her, and I think she would have killed it in that role.
Right.
Because she's done comedies, and she's good at comedies. Katherine Heigl was, sure.
I mean, it's been years since I've seen that movie, but I remember being like, meh, it's fine.
Okay, next one. Tobey Maguire in Life of Pi.
Was he the tiger?
No, he was the orangutan.
The zebra that gets mauled.
Oh, sad movie.
I haven't seen it. I just call it Tiger Boat. You've seen Tiger Boat?
Accurate.
Yeah.
It's a good
That's
movie.
a really good movie.
But it is it's bookended, or throughout there's a narrative thing about a writer. Literally in the script is called The Writer, a guy interviewing Pi about his adventure, about being in Tiger Boat. And so it's a small role, but Tobey Maguire actually filmed it entirely.
Wow.
With what's his name, Irfan Khan. So he filmed his whole role, but he was deemed too famous for the role, and Ang Lee, it was directed by Ang Lee, he decided on a complete international cast. So he cast Rafe Spall from Hot Fuzz and Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom. So he just replaced it just with another white guy, but whatever.
Wait, who is he in Hot Fuzz?
He's one of the cops. You would know
one
him.
of the Andes.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
For you, he's the guy who got Red on You in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm there.
He's been in a bunch of random stuff.
Sure.
Like Life of Pi.
International.
Yeah, but apparently he's counts as international.
So,
just being a Brit.
but like, how insulting is that to? Okay, if I were Tobey Maguire, sorry, at first I'm like, that's so insulting, but then I'm like, well, it's not. But is it? But it is. So if I were Tobey Maguire and I was like, yeah, this seems cool, I want to do this movie. Like, yes, I would like to do this movie. I agree. I have signed my name, and then to film the whole fucking thing, and then to have them be like, actually, sorry, you're too famous. Like, wait, but don't I decide if I'm too famous? Like,
I would have said no.
Yeah, I would have said no if I thought I was too famous. So it's kind of like a weird, like, should I be offended?
I'm pretty
or
sure.
Not?
I'm pretty sure they got in the editing room and heard Tobey Maguire say the words, "So tell me about Richard Parker." That's Peter Parker's dad. Shit, we got to recast this.
We can't have this in the Spider-Man universe. This is not part of
it
the
was
Marvel.
a small role, like it was just the bookends.
Yeah, and like once or twice throughout the movie.
Interesting. That's like replacing like Peter Falk and Princess Bride.
Yeah, exactly. That exact same kind of idea.
Mm-hmm. It's the same like structure. So, yeah, that seems pointless and whatever.
Annette Bening in Batman Returns. Guesses of who she was?
Was she a Catwoman?
Oh, Catwoman.
Yes.
Okay, no, that answers the question about which Batman that is. I can't keep my Batman straight. You guys
we
all
know. We know.
Yeah,
this.
no, yeah, I know.
You know my
It's-
Batman
it's-
thing.
So
Jenny
she was
and Ray,
originally.
I love you, but fucking shit. Like, get your Batman straight. God
Get your fucking
damn.
Batmans in order, you bitch.
Originally cast as Catwoman, they fitted all her costumes like they
Really?
were ready to go, and she got pregnant and had to drop out, and replaced by Michelle Pfeiffer,
Who did a great job.
Yeah,
But I also love Annette Bening, so
well, I don't
can't lose either way.
I don't see Annette Bening in that role at all. Like, I don't see that kind of unhingedness in her, that kind of evil streak that Michelle Pfeiffer really was like. That crazy came out of her so well.
And she's done that
Grease
in
too, especially.
I was gonna say she's done that in Stardust. Like she's done that in a couple movies where she's played a really good
yeah, and
kind of
name
villainess.
one movie where Annette Bening played a really good. Like, she's good as like in American Beauty, but she's a good actress, but it doesn't. I just don't see her in that role.
Yeah.
The American President.
Nice
No,
shoes.
no.
Yeah, and I could see why they couldn't have her in that movie because those costumes were sewn onto the body very tight.
Yes,
so like
Literally,
So-
you could see the stitching.
I know it's true.
So-
Any amount of a baby bump would have been like, why is she so fat?
Yeah, it would instantly
Yeah.
you can't get into this suit.
Yeah.
at
Is this
all.
Catwoman? Is this Catwoman or Fat Catwoman?
Or fat woman. Ugh.
Oh yeah, that would have been dicks. Thinking they're so goddamn clever. Catwoman, more like fat woman. Shut up, you internet troll.
That's exactly what happened to Christian Bale.
Oh, that's right.
Because when he did Machinist,
The Machinist.
Oh, the
yeah.
Machinist.
he was
yeah.
super skinny and he was cast, and everybody's like, "What the hell?" So he put on a fuck ton of muscle and weight, and
Yeah.
and by the time he showed up on set, he was a little on the chubby side, and people were like, "What are we making, fat man?"
Aw, leave Christian alone. That man's ability to drastically change his body to fit a role
It's insane.
is insane. He's like emaciated, then like muscular, and then like normal guy, and then like skinny, and then just it's all over the
There's,
I mean-
there's an episode for us, body transformations or
Oh, yeah, that's
character,
actually not a bad idea.
actor transformations.
I mean, the king of that is obviously Chris Evans in Captain America.
Yeah.
He was so tiny.
Oh, fuck you. I was like, what are you talking about? Chris Evans has always been buff. I thought you meant Chris Pratt. I'm like, yeah, chubby Andy to
Yeah, there you go.
and then you said Captain America, and I was like, what?
What?
Okay, so outside of the cat suit for Michelle Pfeiffer, she wore most of Benning's fitted clothes anyway, because production was in full swing and they didn't have time to
Yeah.
change any of it.
I mean, even if they fit too loose or too tight, it was perfect for the character because Selena Kyle,
she's kind of dumpy and weird.
yeah, didn't care for her appearance at all. Just just doing her job, schlubbing along.
I know. It's like this is fitted to you to look baggy.
Yeah, I mean it worked.
Yeah.
Okay, Lori Petty. Anybody remember her?
Yes, Tank
Girl.
Girl. Yeah, from
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Lottie. I can't remember the character's name.
Lori Petty. She was originally Officer Huxley in Demolition Man.
I never saw.
Oh,
Demolition
replaced
Man.
by
Never seen Demolition Man?
No, that's Wesley Snipes, right?
And Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, that
And
is
our-
an action movie you need to watch.
All right.
Our good friend
Tonight.
Sandy Bullock was replaced her.
Exactly.
Okay.
She was fired.
Sandy B.
Lori Petty was fired 2 days on set.
Really?
For
Did-
zaniness or like wow, like
She
what?
said her and Sly got along like oil and water.
I can see that.
But it's also I don't quite see her in that role because she kind of ends up being the love interest of Stallone, and she's kind of that actress that kind of pulls off the little bit unhinged little
Yeah.
weirdos. But I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
she's definitely a character actress and not necessarily like a romantic lead like
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock is.
Tank Girl was fun.
I've never seen Tank Girl actually, but I really would like to.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that is a gap, but Demolition Man is definitely a gap.
Speaking of people with gaps in their movie watching,
Yeah.
Shaming me.
Okay, Samantha Morton in Her. Now, Samantha Morton, the only thing I think I've really seen Samantha Morton in is she's the precog in Minority Report.
Okay.
I know has a big role in Walking Dead now.
Yeah, she's the new like
Bad
baddie.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who that is?
no. I mean, you said precog in Minority Report, and I was like, okay, I'm there, but I can't picture
Shaved
her
head
face.
She
lady.
Did you?
Yeah, of course.
I'm assuming, given your love for Harry Potter, that you saw Fantastic Beasts.
Yes.
She's the abusive like mother to
Oh.
what's his face.
Okay, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her
Yeah.
face or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. So she played her name, Samantha. She voiced Samantha, the operating system in Her.
Oh, the AI.
Yeah. And obviously replaced by Scarlett Johansson.
ScarJo.
ScarJo. So she was on set voicing the role with Joaquin Phoenix the whole shoot. So she was
wow.
just off camera reading the lines to him. And when she found out, she was actually she's not hurt by the decision. She says, "It feels like I created a painting and I put it in the attic and nobody's seen it, but but it's fine because I know it's there.
Aw.
However,
She got paid though, right?
yes,
Like,
yes,
okay.
yeah. However, she spent months with the crew and felt like she was kind of abandoned. She says, I would have been happy to go with Scarlett and everybody else and celebrate the film at the premiere because we all made it. I was like, oh, I thought I was part of this family.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if she's
That's
on set
sad.
off camera running lines with Joaquin Phoenix, like his reactions and lines that he's delivering are in reaction to
Her acting.
to her performance, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Although, is that technically a replaced actor or a dubbed actor?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
See, now we're in this gray
Gray
area
area.
that I feel uncomfortable.
Well, staying in the gray area.
Regardless, it's fascinating.
Staying in the gray area, a new series that January was kind of forced to watch and now loves.
What's this now?
Colin Firth in Paddington.
Oh my God, you guys.
Have you seen the Paddington movies?
The first one.
Those are the best movies. They're so good.
They're just really charming. They're very creative.
This
They're
is
very
completely
cute.
unironic. By the way, if anyone listening is like, oh, yeah, right, they like Paddington. No, like, stop. Well, finish this podcast. Then just go watch Paddington immediately. They're so good.
Yeah. Second one, January was crying like a baby. So was I, but.
Again, not hard. Cry at lots of movies, but this was legitimate.
So Colin Firth was originally Paddington. And director Paul King wanted Firth because, quote, what we liked about Colin is that he's got a bearish voice. He's got a sense of humor, and he presents the very best of British. Which is
Yes.
like, you think of Colin Firth, and you're like, that puts it all together, right?
Yeah.
But Firth started doing the role, and he was kind of struggling to find the voice, the kind of how to do it, and
He was
director
just too sexy. They were like, God, Paddington sounds way too sexy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like total DILF. We can't have this. This
Yeah.
is like nonsense.
No, Bilf Bear.
Yeah, he's a DILF BILF.
He's a Dilf Bilf.
They're
Wait,
like,
a dilf bilf, is that the dad that wants to
dad.
fuck the bear that wants to be fucked?
yes.
It's just, hey,
I don't know.
love is love.
But they were exactly. How dare you judge them?
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
but it was,
I apologize.
everyone 30 women 30 plus were like, whew, and the test screening's like, Paddington, ooh.
I've never been attracted to a bear before, but
Let alone a
I'm
digital
willing to
one.
give it a try.
yeah.
Paul King, the director, agreed with that. He was it wasn't really working.
Too sexy.
And he said, it slowly just became clear that Paddington does not have the voice of a very handsome older man who has the most beautiful voice on the planet.
Yeah, too sexy.
Yeah.
He's like, ooh, shit, we gotta dial down the sex factor. You guys have wandered into my realm of movies.
Yeah,
Pride and Prejudice, Bridget Jones's Diary.
Oh boy. All right. So
Hair
they
flip.
decided to recast completely mutual. And Firth says, after a period of denial, we have chosen conscious uncoupling. Making fun of the whole
Zing. Yeah,
Paltrow
Chris
Chris
Martin.
Martin thing. So he was replaced by Ben Whishaw.
about that. That's right.
Yeah, unconscious uncoupling. That's where it came from.
Ben Whishaw.
Ben Whishaw from Cloud Atlas, the new James Bond movies. He plays Q.
Perfume,
That's
the
right.
story of a murderer.
Yeah, yeah. Really random. I pulled up his IMDb and I was like, he plays really random shit that I don't know very many
so
people have seen
talented,
him in.
though. He's so talented. I love Ben Whishaw.
And he's perfect for that role, really.
Still
However,
sexy. Sexy.
he's not that sexy when it comes to voice.
Oh,
Apparently.
okay.
Yeah,
Just when
it's-
he's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I find him attractive, but the way he does the voice isn't immediately like, oh, ooh. Like he does like cutesy bear voice.
Yeah, cutesy
which
bear.
Colin Firth was like, I'm sorry, I just can't dial back the sex appeal. It just radiates constantly.
Yeah.
You know.
It's that. Ooh, too sexy.
Ooh, too sexy.
However, there is one line in the movie that is clearly Colin Firth. Towards the end of the movie,
Yeah.
it's the part where
It's
he's
two, right?
no, it's the first one.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
because he gets knocked out and he wakes up and he says one line, and it's a line they just get away with because it just sounded weird. I remember we paused it and we were like,
Did
"Wait a
his
minute, what the hell
voice
is that?"
just change?
And then
Yeah,
I was
we
like,
were really
oh, I knew
confused.
that Colin Firth was replaced. That's funny that they left the one line in. So he's still in it, just a little bit.
Was it a line from the King's Speech?
Just stuttering.
Stuttering, yeah.
It's very subtle. Like if you're not paying attention, you'll skip right past it. But you and I were like, whoa.
Yeah,
That was weird. His voice just changed. And we like rewound it. And I was like, and it sounded familiar. And we looked it up. And you were like,
I knew that.
or you knew. Okay. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, they left this one line in just as kind of a little like wink to Colin Firth.
And yeah, we replayed it. And then January was instantly horny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
I couldn't control myself. I was like, we can't even finish this movie now. Sorry.
Best night of Ian's life.
And that stuffed animal.
Speaking of like voice acting, are you going to talk about The Sword in the Stone at all?
No.
So
The Disney one?
Yeah, the kid who played Wart, or the character Wart, was like 3 different actors, and if you watch it, it's
Clear.
It's so clear.
Are you for real?
It's like even in the same scene, like some of the voices will change. Like at the very end, when he's actually king, and you hear him say Merlin, Merlin, he's yelling for Merlin. Like the lines that were said just before that, completely different kid. That's like 3 different actors.
Oh my God. I have not seen that movie in years, and I have to go watch it.
Yeah, no,
That's
it
crazy.
is insanely obvious.
Put it on the list.
That's so weird. All right, we'll do. Okay, next one. James Purefoy in V for Vendetta. So James Purefoy is most recently, you've seen him in Sex Education. He's the dad, the philandering dad.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's also
the main
in
Asa Butterfield's dad.
And something else we recently watched, A Knight's Tale.
Right.
He's the prince who's passing off as just a normal guy. So that's James Purefoy. So he played V, the main character, the hero, whatever you want to call him in that, anti-hero. And he was replaced by Hugo Weaving after 6 weeks of filming. And rumor was he didn't like wearing the mask. Right. That's what came out at the time.
Welcome to 2020, everybody.
So Purefoy replied to this. He's like, I don't really talk about it much because we agreed not to. The only rumor I can scotch is that if anybody thinks I was too pussy to wear a mask, they're completely wrong. It was nothing to do with wearing the mask.
Well, there you go.
Here's a PSA. Everybody be like James Purefoy. Don't be too pussy to wear a mask.
Exactly.
Boom.
Now, I've seen V for Vendetta a couple of times, and I still am so confused by it. So this James Purefoy, he was in it for 6 weeks, got replaced by Hugo Weaving. So Hugo Weaving is in the film, and he's wearing a mask the whole time. My question has always been, is that Hugo Weaving on camera, or is it just his voice?
So it's a little bit of all of that.
Okay, because that's what because like Hugo Weaving is a great actor.
Yes. So when Purefoy was doing this interview with comicbookmovie.com, I love that websites still keep the .com in their name. They relayed to him that producer Joel Silver said it had to do with his voice. The reason they recast him was the voice, and Purefoy laughed and said, right, okay, sure. So he's clearly like harboring some like pissed off resentment for something that happened behind the scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
But it was an easy fix since the character is masked the whole time. So they could basically just reuse all the footage that Purefoy was in there in the character, and then just revoice him with Hugo Weaving, and then have
anything else they need to have left to shoot. Just
Hugo Weaving. Him in it.
Right. Makes sense.
Fun fact: these 2 stunt doubles were Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. Those 2 directed the first John Wick movie.
Yes, I was going to say John Wick.
That was their first directorial debut. And then Stahelski did the next 2, Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. And David Leitch went on to do Deadpool 2, which I fucking love, and Hobbs and Shaw, and Atomic Blonde.
Oh, okay.
So that's where those guys were all stunt guys. And
nice.
So they were also V, and now they're big movie directors.
There you go. I always want to know what he looked like. You know?
Well, he looks like some combination of James Purefoy, Hugo Weaving, and then those 2 dudes.
Yeah.
Just get
the dead
open
puppy
Photoshop, mash all those faces together. There you go.
Okay, Dougray Scott, X-Men.
Isn't it Dougray?
Oh yeah, Dougray. I don't know. Is it?
I think it's Dougray.
It's Dougray.
I think it's pronounced Dougray.
Dougray.
It does look like Dougray though. There is a difference because it's either Dougray, you come over here, or it's Dougray. So like Dougray, you come over here right now and be in this X-Men movie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
You
he
make
was
your mama famous.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna.
Yeah, because he's Scots. He's born in Scotland and I think it's Dougray.
Dougray Scott in X-Men. Do you have any idea who he is?
Colossus?
I wish Colossus was in that.
No,
was he supposed to be Sabretooth?
No.
Was he supposed to be
Good guy or bad guy?
Wait, was he supposed to be Wolverine?
Yes.
Okay.
But also, who is he? Who's Dougray Scott?
We didn't even know how to pronounce his damn name, so obviously he's no Hugh Jackman. I can tell you that right now.
Exactly. So he was originally cast as Wolverine, and so it was going to be like his big thing. But first needed to finish playing the villain in Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
So he was in the middle of doing that. That movie's fuck awful. Anyway, he got hurt during one of the motorcycle scenes, and it pushed his scenes further down the line. So it wasn't like a serious injury. It just took him off his feet for like a couple of weeks or something like that. Anyway, production fell behind schedule, and it ran into X-Men's start date. And the X-Men producers decided they couldn't wait and decided to recast Wolverine 3 weeks into filming.
Wow.
So that's how far along they were already in there.
Yeah.
Replaced by some guy named Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Didn't move on to anything else. So injury was assumed the reason at the time that Scott couldn't do Wolverine. And obviously, Jesus, talk about missing out on just missing the boat, I should say.
Yeah.
But Scott claimed this March that Tom Cruise wouldn't let him do it.
I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
So Scott says, for whatever reason, he said I couldn't. He was a very powerful guy. Other people were doing everything to make it work. So both sides agreed to like move things around for it.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise wouldn't let him do it.
Wow.
Fucked him over on hell of a role.
Yeah, for real. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Hugh Jackman, and I think he's brilliant as Wolverine. My only gripe is that he is so tall.
Yeah. Wolverine's supposed to be short.
He's like, Wolverine in the comics is like 5'4".
Supposed to be
That's
Danny
like my
DeVito
height.
type.
Holy shit, that's tiny.
Danny DeVito can do all of these things.
Oh my god, yeah. Let's
Danny
get
DeVito was
DeVito in there.
Wolverine? Yes.
Actually, one of the original ideas was Bob Hoskins.
That would have been
Oh,
amazing.
Hoss.
Because he's burly,
Hell
short
yeah.
dude, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about this before about how Tom Cruise like threatens people and doesn't let people do things because remember with Henry, he wouldn't let Henry Cavill shave his mustache or whatever. Didn't we talk about that with the other Mission Impossible?
It was just that Paramount wouldn't allow him to shave his mustache. But after hearing this story, maybe it was
Tom's
Cruise.
pulling the strings. We were talking about he threatens to send the Scientology missionaries to your house. It's like, don't you dare. Don't you dare be Wolverine. Guess what? Some Scientologists are going to show up at your house.
Right? Seriously.
So that sucks for him because he's in some TV shows that people like. I don't know. Sure.
I know, right?
What do you know him from, Clint?
I know him from Mission Impossible 2. I think that's pretty much it. He was
I
in.
just
He was
don't
in.
think he has that look for it though, because he has the look of a bad guy.
He does.
And
I mean, he's got resting bad guy face.
yeah.
RBGF.
Yeah.
Okay, so here comes a big one. Stuart Townsend.
I know this one. I know what you're gonna say.
Stuart. Queen of the. He played. He was Lestat in Queen of the Damned, and Dorian Gray in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That movie.
That
Future
movie.
shit show.
Oh, please
Discussion?
do it. Please do it. I have so much to say about that goddamn movie.
Okay, another time. So Stuart Townsend, he was mostly known for being Charlize Theron's boyfriend for years.
Oh, that's how I know him. Yep.
And he, yes,
Mr.
exactly.
Theron.
He was going to be in Lord of the Rings. Any ideas who he was going to be?
Aragon.
He was going to be Aragon.
That's right.
And he trained for 2 months, was fired 3 days into production.
Damn.
And Peter Jackson and the studio deemed him too young for the role. He was 28 at the time, and Viggo Mortensen, who had like 24 hours or whatever to agree to do the movie and had to show up like the next day to be on set and everything. Viggo Mortensen was 42.
Yeah.
So if you look at him, Stuart Townsend kind of looked like a whiny prince versus
Little baby face.
Yeah, like versus Viggo has a very kingly kind of ranger look. Like he fits that role so much more.
Yeah.
And it sucks for him, but there's this little quote about Townsend. After that, I was told they wouldn't pay me because I was in breach of contract due to not having worked long enough. I had been having a rough time with them, so I was almost relieved to be leaving until they told me I wouldn't be paid. That quote bugs the shit out of me because from what everybody says about that first trilogy is that those filmmakers were just love the material and they were there 100% and they were like the greatest people to work with. There's this clip of Christopher Lee who's been on 200 movies and he was like, this is by far the greatest crew I have ever worked with.
Yeah.
Like there's a passion on that set that is very rare.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is going, I was having problems with them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and, but I don't know, fuck him.
I think it's hard to say like what for sure went down, but yeah, when you hear everyone else is like, we had a lovely time, and he's like, I was having not a good time. It's like, it's probably you.
Yeah, definitely you, because he has a history of being replaced. And his other big one was he was originally cast in the first Thor as Fandral, the good-looking Prince Charming of Warriors 3. Thor's like 3 warrior friends.
Yeah.
And they were originally going to cast Zachary Levi from Chuck, but he got busy with Chuck, so he had to step out. So then they cast Townsend. He left due to creative differences.
Dude,
Sure.
You're a
bit
fucking
player.
side character in
Yeah.
a Thor movie. Like, calm the fuck down, bro.
like your character. Yeah, okay. I know what you're gonna say, but so I don't want to step on your toes.
So
but
so they replaced him with Joshua Dallas from Once Upon a Time, who literally plays Prince Charming, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And so, but then in Thor 2, Joshua Dallas got busy with Once Upon a Time and then was replaced by Zachary Levi.
Yeah,
Aha.
full circle. Just patient.
But yes, Townsend is kind of it seems like he has a history of just being a jackass, and enough that he is no longer acting anymore. Nobody will cast him. Like he moved to like Puerto Rico or something like that. And is
What was he not replaced in? Like, what has he even done besides be Charlize Theron's boyfriend?
There's the only thing I can think. Well, I named the 2: Queen of the Damned, nobody saw; League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
oh, that's right,
which was terrible. And he was in a movie.
My blood just boils when I hear that name.
I wish everyone could see how just mad Clint is right now.
The vein in your head.
So mad.
As a joke, my brother bought it for me on iTunes, so it's in my iTunes library now for fucking ever. And
And Clint burned his laptop and switched to Android. That's how much he hates this movie.
I hate that movie so much.
But he was good in it, right?
Flames.
On the
Flames.
Side of my face.
No, please, let's do a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen because I can watch it. I have it, so I can prepare myself.
He's like, hold my press. Let's talk about it.
Hold my press. Yeah.
Shit. And I'm assuming that Charlize Theron also replaced him as... also replaced him with a different boyfriend, a different, better boyfriend.
I love Charlize
she's
Theron.
single now.
She's so cool.
I know.
Great. 100%. I know.
After
sounds like a total dick, and you're just kind of like, why were you with him for so long?
Yeah. So I'm gonna let the audience kind of peek behind the curtain a little bit. So Ian and Ray, they do like the awesome video essays that you see on YouTube, and I just have the pleasure of sharing those. And I don't know which ones are coming up, which I think is kind of fun. I like being on kind of like in the blind because because then I can also feel like a contributor because I'm on the podcast, but like as a fan because I get to watch the essay. But after you released the Mad Max Fury Road episode, I was like, this is a good movie. I gotta watch it again. So
It's so good.
It's so good.
I love that movie.
Yes, speaking of Charlize Theron, so that's
Yeah.
Yes.
It was originally cast for Stuart Townsend. He was one of the cars, and then they replaced
They
him.
replaced him.
Okay. Last one. So speaking of Peter Jackson, the movie Lovely Bones, which was his first small film after Lord of the Rings and King Kong, about a murdered girl in limbo watching over her family and killer.
That's a messed up book, by the way.
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie, but I've read the book, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I think it got to the murder part, and I was like, I can't finish reading this. This is graphic.
Yeah, not my kind of material at all. So Ryan Gosling was originally cast as the grieving father. And at the time, he was pretty young.
Yeah, wasn't he like 22 or some shit? Like,
He was probably in his 20s. Yeah. And a month before filming, Gosling dropped out. And at the time, he said he had never felt right for the part due to his age,
yeah.
which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because he's in his 20s, and like the girl's supposed to be like 14. That the math doesn't even add up.
Yeah.
gross.
But then he was replaced by Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark?
Marky Mark. Not much of an age difference. I guess he kind of looks a little bit older, but definitely
I mean,
didn't
there's
replace
definitely
him in quality.
a talent difference.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Marky Mark's got that like dad vibe a little bit, where
little bit.
Ryan Gosling's got that hot
Heartthrob.
Hey, girl.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
vibe about him.
Yeah.
So a year later, Gosling said he was fired because he showed up with a beard and 60 pounds overweight. Speaking of huge transformations.
Well, when
And-
I became
was
a-
he
well-
like trying to look more like a dad?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got to be a dad. So like dads are fat and have beards.
Yeah,
Well, when
and
I
there was-
became a dad, I gained 60 pounds and grew a beard. So
sympathy weight.
yeah,
I mean,
case in point.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
No, there's
and gentlemen.
photos of him. People were like, he was like, he's a sex symbol. And then suddenly there was these photos of him behind the way, just huge neck fat with a neck beard and like,
Damn.
and
That's dedication, though.
so he showed up and Jackson didn't know he did that he was doing that.
How do you
And-
not know?
And so Jackson didn't know he made that decision and didn't care for it. So that's
because
why
he
I
because
fired
it was
him.
like looking in a mirror. Was he like, oh God?
That's not what a father looks like. I'm a father, but I lost all that weight. I can't do it anymore.
So Gosling, he said, we didn't talk very much during the pre-production process,
Clearly.
which was the problem.
Yeah.
It was a huge movie,
Yeah.
and there's so many things to deal with, and he couldn't deal with the actors individually. I just showed up on set, and I had gotten it wrong. Then I was fat and unemployed.
Yeah. I was just like, dude, talk about it. If you just say, hey,
Yeah.
Peter, I got this idea. What if I gain 60 pounds and grow a beard? No, it's not a good idea. All right, cool. I won't do that. And then now he's 60 pounds heavier and beard face.
I don't. It's beard for say. Sorry. I don't feel bad for Ryan Gosling though. I mean, he's fine. He did just fine.
He's fine. Like, I don't feel bad for actors who like gain weight for a role because they have the means and the money and the time to fix it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
immediately.
That's a big thing.
And
It's
the
like people are like,
genetics,
why
too.
can't you look like this? You don't understand. Chris Hemsworth is paid millions of dollars to look the way he
It's
does.
literally his job.
It's quite literally.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
paid millions to look that way.
He's got trainers that like tell him what to do,
Yeah.
and he's got nutritionists that I'm sure probably prepare all of his meals for him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's why I look the way I do.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not
I don't have any
goddamn
of those
Thor.
things. Also, I have no motivation to do those things.
Let's be honest. Pizza and beer is okay.
Delicious.
So fun fact, to get fat, what Ryan Gosling did when he was thirsty, he drank melted Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
That's what he did. That's what he did when he was thirsty. That's awesome.
That's just what I do anyway. I mean,
Well, think about
what?
how hard it is to lose weight, right? Like you gotta work out, you gotta eat right, But like to gain weight, he I'm thirsty. I'm gonna wait for this ice cream to melt.
Yeah.
Like-
Bro, get a milkshake.
Yeah.
It's more efficient.
Drink a soda.
Yeah.
Just eat them.
Just eat the
Just eat the ice cream. Good point.
It's still the same.
It's like same calories, bro.
You know, like the microwave adds like calories.
Right? Well, it's funny because you say like he came on set and he thought, oh yeah, I got this wrong. Like,
Yeah.
your whole process to get there was wrong.
Wrong.
You want to get fat, you don't have to wait for
He
ice
can't
cream to
even
melt.
get fat right. I mean, what are you doing, Ryan?
Ryan.
And everybody on set when they saw him were like, I thought we were making lovely bones, not fat bones.
Yeah.
Zing!
I thought we were making lovely bones, not big bone.
So were any of these cast replacements worth it?
A lot of them were, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
Viggo Mortensen,
yes.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we briefly talked about Michael J. Fox at the beginning with for Back to the Future. Definitely.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Even like Ben Whishaw replacing Colin Firth, and like I wouldn't know what like the voice of the girl who did her was, but like ScarJo did an excellent job. For the most part, it sounds like most of these were it was both sides were like, like wasn't a great fit, or it was kind of a like, like we just we're gonna go our separate ways. Like, and the movies that you talked about are great movies, so I think that it makes sense and it was worth it.
Yeah. Yep.
Agreed.
I agree.
Other than Anne Hathaway, probably. Nobody cares about
yeah,
Katherine
yeah.
Heigl.
Yeah.
True.
Right. I mean, with Katherine Heigl, I got through maybe about 3 of the dresses and 27 dresses, and I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
He's like, how many fucking dresses do we have left? 27. God.
I honestly don't know if that's the plot of the show. I have no idea. I've never seen it.
You only got 3 dresses.
I only got 3
in.
of the dresses.
You only got 3 dresses in, Glenn.
There was a montage that took care of at least 10 of those.
Oh, yeah.
Clint,
I've never seen it.
that movie really actually takes a dark turn around Dress 12. Like, I really recommend, like, get back into it.
Okay.
Hang in there till Dress 12.
Dress 12.
But then, like, happy ending by Dress 27. It's great. So,
okay. All right. Sounds good. 27 dresses.
But stamp of worth it. Worth it. That's our new sign off.